Hello, I'm Debs and this is Debs Made This, and this is my stop on the vlogger tour for Sew April Blouse 2025, which is exciting. This is one of my favourite challenges. This is, I think, maybe the third or fourth year of it running and me taking part anyway, and it's run by Gabrielle at the Cloth Edit and this year co-hosted by Tamlyn, who's sewn on the time. I do like a blouse. I don't like the word blouse, and I'm quite a shirt person. I quite like a structured fabric and clean details, but I do have quite a lot of blouses to show you, and I thought that I would try and show you ones that other people might not show you. So I do love a Roscoe and a Norma, but I thought everybody's going to show you those, so I'm going to try and show you ones either where I've been a tester or where I kind of tweaked things a little bit. I also have some fabrics. I've got too many fabrics to show you that I want to use for this challenge. It seems to have really piqued my interest. I think it's in combination with the sun starting to shine here in the UK as well. And I do recognise that it's likely to become inclement at some time before we get to proper summer. But yes, having a bit of sunshine definitely helps. So I'll start with the one I'm wearing. This is the free Pauline Alice Onil blouse. I made this for So Frugal last year. I shall link it, the video, up here if I remember to do so, but this is a good one. On the mannequin is probably one of my oldest blouses, actually. I think this is from 2017, but I might be wrong. I think it's 2017. This is made in this beautiful art gallery fabric, and the blouse is the Pauline Alice Reina blouse. It has these voluminous sleeves with a nice long cuff, but not too much volume at the sleeve. It has this lovely curved yoke and this very deep B. It's slightly too deep, to be honest. It needs to come up on the next one I make. And then this little collar, which you can do it without, but it does sit really nicely against the neck. I have worn this one loads and I want to make another one. So the another one that I want to make, I may have shown you this last year, because this is in my head what this is going to be. It was bought to be the Thea blouse, which is a Liberty pattern, but I twirled that and I didn't like it. So yes, so this is a Liberty cotton lawn, which is going to be that. And maybe this is the year. I hope so, because I've been sitting looking at it for a very long time. Next up, I've got the Ermine blouse, and this is a Fibre Mood pattern, which has this really nice yoke detail with some gathering into it. It has a straight sleeve, but it does have a little bit of a puff at the shoulder, and it has a narrow yoke at the back. That one's a really nice one and really easy to make. Next is one of my newer ones. I don't think I've done a vlog about this though. I think I made it and didn't publish it. This is the Roma top and dress by Sewing Therapy Patterns, and it has a drop shoulder with some pleating into these sleeves, these lovely little cuffs which are optional, and this really nice collar. It has these ties that come at the waist and it goes over the top. There's a sew along, a video sew along, which is very clear, so that one's a great beginner pattern, or if you, just a nice easy make to make. It's oversized, and next time I will size down one. I made a 14, which would fit me on the dress, so it fits according to my hip, but there's plenty of ease in this, and I think I would go down to a 12 next time, because it's about 2 inches off my shoulder, and that's perhaps a little bit too far, but there, that's another one. Next is this, and I'll try and insert an image. I'm not sure how well you'll see it. So this is the Gofre blouse, Gofre, and I was a pattern tester for this. It's really, really nice. It's a really nice pattern. It has these really lovely little pin tucks that are all pressed in one direction, and then you also have little pin tucks and then a really wide elastic in the cuff. I've made it in this cotton voile, which is what I often twirl or make the first volume of a blouse in, because you can never have too many white blouses. They nearly always get stained or sun lotioned or whatever, but yes, this is often what I make the first one in. And this is a raglan sleeve blouse, which means that it's really nice. These little tucks are beautiful. So you can put the opening to this at the front or the back, and I did it obviously just at the front, and I have been meaning to make another one of these, but I haven't been kind of clear about what kind of fabric I wanted to make it in, because the problem is you kind of want to see these pin tucks, so I think probably a plain would be better for this than a pattern. I do have in my stash this one, which would look really pretty, but I'm not sure that you would be able to see those pin tucks, but I think it would look quite nice. But that's a Dashwood Studio viscose, which I've got 3 cuts of, but they're all different colours. So this one's really tealy and the other 2 are really blue. So that may be that. Oh, or actually, I'd forgotten about this one. Or I've got this, which is a Tencel Blend Atelier Brunette fabric from, I think, 2018, which I have promised myself is getting sewn up, and it's either going to be this or it will be the Avid Seamstress, the blouse pattern, because I just want something kind of fairly neat and straightforward in it, because I've got a plan for a skirt or a pair of trousers in a coordinating fabric that I've got in that. Now next, this is a poor sad blouse. This blouse is a hack of the Marilla Walker Anning dress. Now, I don't think that pattern's any longer available, but, you know, take your shirt dress as you will and adjust accordingly. Again, it's in that white cotton voile. I bought tons of this because I used to use it to line when I made cotton lawn garments. So I've got lots, which is why it tends to come this. I don't know if it'll show up on camera, but it is really, really badly discoloured especially on the front yoke. And when I was going to put it on the other day, I put it over my head, and it's just come away at the seam. So I'm not sure this is salvage. I mean, I was umming and ahhing about fixing it, and there are lots of things that I could do to fix it, but it is fairly, it's done its work, shall we say. And so I think it might be time for that one to go and to have a new one. I did have some fabric sitting about, which I thought would make a really nice one of these. I think what I did from memory is I just shortened this front bib. I think that was the only change that I made, and then just kind of chose a length to chop it off at. I think it came with a file that you could make into a top, but I wanted more like a shirt type thing. And I used to have a shirt like this when I was about 18. I used to wear all the time, which is why I went for this style. And actually it's been worn so much, and it's been worn all year round. I wear it underneath a jumper in the winter, and just with my jeans in the summer. Now the fabric I have to make this from, I think, which you have seen already recently, I hope, is this one. So this is the cream colourway of the one that I'm making my Fleureteuse dress in. So she also had this cream colourway, and I thought that this would be really nice as this top. It is heavier, it's a heavier weight than this very light voile, but yeah, I think that should work well. So fingers crossed that one will be coming to you shortly, because I can't have this out of rotation. I love it. One that I have here to show you is the Vernon blouse, and this is my favourite make, I think, of this year so far. Although it's called the shirt, I think this would qualify as a blouse, and I'm sure that Gabrielle will tell me if I've got that wrong, but because it's got this extra long collar, it's got the puff sleeve, and this one has the lantern at the bottom of the sleeve. This has been really, really loved this year so far. And so I have some fabric. I think I've already said to you that I thought that this was going to be this. This is a Figo quilting cotton with these butterflies on, and echinacea, I think they're called, those flowers. But yes, that wants to be this, and it's weather. I think I'm tempted to make that up because I think we will need it still. I think we're still going to have some long sleeved weather before we get to the summer. But yeah, that's again another yoked blouse. And this version has that covered button placket, which I really like. I really like that version of that. I have made the other version of the Vernon, but it has a very narrow cuff band, which I didn't like, and I gave away my stripy one that was the other version of this. Behind me is another one that I said I wasn't going to touch about because you've seen them already. This is my Roscoe. I sized down to a size 6, but kept the cuffs at the size 10, and it fits just beautifully. And the fabric that I would like to make a new Roscoe in has been in my stash. Well, somebody will tell me when this came out. So this is a viscose lawn. I think it is very, very fine. And so when I've been thinking about what to make with it, he goes that way approachly. When I've been thinking about what to make with it, I've been trying to think of something that hardly has any seams because it's so fine. I'm really worried that if you do something with a lot of seaming, a fabric that's fine like this can pull across those seams. So I thought the Roscoe might work really well as that because there's hardly any seams to go. It's just that kind of top neck one. The other one that was floating about that has a job that it wants to be is this. And I think I've shown you this. This is my Liberty Silk. This is my birthday present from last year, which has not been made. This is Prospect Road. The lovely Jen Legg, who has a new YouTube channel, go and have a look at her. She has made a beautiful blouse in this. Mine remains unmade because I can't quite decide what I'm going to do with it. So I'm hoping, I think that sooner or later, inspiration will strike. And I think maybe when I've made a couple of these other blouses up, I will be feeling in the swing enough to be able to use that. The other one that I do want to make, and I can't get this out of my head, this fabric I got in a D-stash, but I'd been looking out for it for years and years and years because I saw somebody in a dress made in it and I wanted to make the shirt dress. I haven't made the shirt dress. It's now, I must have had it for 6 years and I haven't made the shirt dress, but in my head I now can't see it as anything other than the Pauline Alice Coeli, Coeli, I don't know, Coeli blouse, which is very voluminous, horizontal tucks in the sleeve, little neck, and then a tie at the back. And I think that might be the first thing that I cut out. And it feels very bold actually to make that out of this fabric without doing a toile, but it is so oversized. I think it'll be fine. It's just I need to remember to make sure that the sleeves are long enough. So that's a whistle stop of the things that are kind of scratching my head about Sew April blouse. And I would say to you, you know, there's just so many blouses patterns out there. Oh, there's another one. Hang on, what have I done with it? Hang on, bear with. Oh, there we go. The one is one that I picked up at the swaps table. Now, this is a really old pattern. This is from 2016. It's a Megan Nielsen pattern, and the size is quite limited. I don't know if they still do this. If they do, I'll link it down below. But I'll just show you the line drawings. But you can see the first one is a really basic blouse with 3/4 sleeves, and then there's these two other ones with fancier sleeves. But I would just quite like to make the one without the fancy sleeve, just with a plain sleeve in the first instance. And I'm going to toile that first and then make it, when I've got it on, make a decision. This reminds me of the neck on the Norma blouse, which I really like. And I thought what you could do is, if I can get the fit of this bodice nicely, this bodice to fit nicely. There we go. I can speak, sorry. If I can get this bodice to fit nicely, then I could put the Norma sleeves on it and have something with a little bit more volume in it. But yeah, we'll see. It's got kind of a high-low curved hem, this one. And I picked it up because I just thought it looked kind of quite chic and elegant. It would be really nice to showcase a really good print. And I did wonder, I kind of had a thought about that Fabric Godmother, the one that I showed you before. So I feel a bit like I've flown through those. Sorry if that was quick. If you have any questions about any of the ones that I've made, then obviously just nudge me. This is the other one I've got to show you. I will link the video that I've just done about this up there so you can have a look. But I will put in the information, but Gabrielle is talking about a blouse being something that has something extra, about a ruffle or a gather or a sleeve detail. And sleeve detail, I am all about the sleeve detail in the pin tucks. This is the Pattern Scout Byrdie with hand smocking on the cuffs, which is a toile for the dress that I'm making. I love it. It has pin tucks at the back neck, and this is a really, really lovely pattern. I have obviously hacked the sleeve in order to make space for the pin tucks to happen, but you can find out all about that on the other video. So after that rampage through the world of blouses, let me know, what are you making? What is inspiring you? What is the piece of fabric that has been in your stash that you are going to make into a blouse this year? I'm really looking forward to seeing what everybody does. And as you know, Sew April blouse is not about producing lots of entries, because it isn't a draw. This is a judged competition, so they're looking for something individual or interesting. So what can you do with your fabric? What can you do with your pattern? What can you do with your hacking? What can you do to make this feel like an interesting make if you want to win? I mean, it's a hashtag that it's definitely worth looking at each year, and I would go back and look at different years, both the YouTube blogs and the Instagram hashtag. And I shall be catching up with everybody else's. We don't have our own days at the moment, so I can't tell you who else is doing this week. But I think that Tamlyn or Gabrielle, I'll link both of their channels down below, and they will have a link to everybody that is participating in the blogger tour. The rules of the challenge are that you need to make a blouse which is in a woven fabric in April and post it before the end of April and tag Reina and Gabrielle and with the hashtag, so April Blouse 25. I think that's right. If I've got that wrong, I'll correct it underneath. There are lots of super prizes and lots of wonderful sponsors. So yes, let's see what we can make, shall we? So I think that's it from me today. I hope that you've seen something that piques your interest and inspires you to get making. And I shall say bye-bye for now. I hope wherever you are in the world, you are finding time to rest and replenish and do some making if that's something that brings you joy. And I shall see you again soon. God bless. Bye-bye.